file handling in Python. So what does this mean even? File handling in Python means it's like you are editing, creating, and delete and executing all of the file commands and other files like you normally just like type here anything. We are going to just do the same thing but with the help of Python commands instead of writing manually. We are going to do these things with the help of commands. So let's start with first file, where first file type which is text, just like txt. So these are just theories. We are going to start with this. So basically our file handling has three different types. You can see three different modes basically: read, write, and append. So what does read means? Read is just like for reading files data from, it's like we have a txt file. Let's suppose this is txt file. For now, let's suppose it is .txt and .file.txt. Okay, now it has something written. Hello there, how are you? So basically, for reading this, you can read it like directly, hello there, how are you? But if you want to do this with Python, so we are going to print the same thing on our console. Okay, so for doing that, let's create our first text file. For that, you can just create it like this. For creating that, just create using touch command. So touch is used to create file, just like I earlier used touch main.py. Now I'm going to use touch file.txt. So let's move to another folder. First make a new folder here. mkdir file handle. Yeah, maybe some simple files like, okay, just name it like folder. Okay, now change your folder. Now if you try ls, so ls is a command which is used to check to list all of the file and folders in your directory. So currently we have nothing, and if you want cmd, you can use the same command mkdir folder. It will create that, and cd will also going to work on cmd. Instead of ls on cmd, you have to type dir, which stands for directory, and in git bash it is just for listing. Now you're going to work like different files. It's like we're going to create for our first file using touch command, touch file.txt. Now if you again run ls, you can see we got our first file. Okay, now let's open this file. Here you can also see we got our folder and it has file.txt. Now we are going to open this and let's write this same text. Okay, hello there, how are you? Okay, after saving this, let's try to run command which is going to run this. So let's run like, let's see simple command for reading file. There's simple command for reading file. So let's open demo.txt. So it's not demo.txt. We have folder and then file.txt, and after this we have we have to pass the file type, I mean mode, as f. Let's say as a file we are opening this. Now file.read, what we are going to, we are going to read this. Okay, now let's run this. If you run, Let me open a get under for this. Now if you run python main.py, you can see that we got our first thing, just hello there, how are you in our terminal. Let's try this with Python directly. Okay, now this is how we have read this. Now let's go for writing. So for writing, we can use simple like app.write hello. So instead of R, we have to use W, and here you can see that our file.txt still has hello there, how are you. Now what you're going to file.write this is written with the help of Python. Okay, now let's run this. You can see that it also returned one thing, which is 39. What is 39 here? 39 is returned as 39 number of characters are returned. So now if you check this, so you can see our whole file text is updated. Earlier it is hello there, how are you? Now it is written with the help of Python. So in this way, you can write with the help of Python. And let's suppose if I want to add a new line, and after this, because write mode will always going to erase all our data and rewrites it. So basically instead of write, you can say rewriting. Now here A stands for basically append, which is for writing after that the data has been written. So A is like, let's say we have to choose \n for the next line, and this is written with the help of A. Then after run this, you can see we got 37. So 37 characters are written. Now instead of overwriting, it is added to the next line. So we have first what we have done, we have created \n, which is next line character. So it is selected from here to here, going here to here is \n. That is possible because of \n, and after it they have written this line with the help of append method. So in this way, you can write the data here. Now, so in this way, you can simply read and write. We have more functions on read and write, like okay, so you have to also let me tell you what is syntax of this. So for syntax, we have syntax like open file, and then after that file name, basically file name. After that we have to use mode. So what will happen after this? So this is the syntax of open. Now whole syntax is with open. Let me write it right there. As this is basically what we call is identifier, which is given for this writing file. So for writing file, we have written this file. You can write anything like file name, or let's say for simpler, here we are giving file variable. So basically, let's to understand that it is variable of the file. And after this, you can execute your any command, just like we have file.write, file.read. In this way, you can execute another command. So basically, you have to do it like this: file bar dot commands or functions, whatever you say. Basically, function, not command. Appropriately, it should be function. Okay, now we have file modes. As I earlier told, W is for writing, R is for reading, A is for appending. Okay, now there is one more important thing. We have to also close this file after creating that. So for that, you have to use file.close. And So, okay, this is first method by which you can read your file. Our second method is file underscore. You can let me write like this. Method one. Now, method two. Method two is not like very much reliable because method one also handles your file all of things, and with file operation with command is more appropriate. For example, for this you have to use with open file. You can either pass file name if it is in same folder, or you have to give its relative file location, else you have to give full file location if it is somewhere else. After this mode, and now after this you have to do file underscore var dot like functions. Instead of commands, it will be more better to say function. After that, file underscore var dot close. We don't need to close in with command because it automatically closes when it ended. So with handles for us, but file this method does not handle. Therefore, with operation is more preferred than file equals to open method. You can see with the statement automatic closing. Here is the time. And after this, okay, since we have read the file, write the file and append the file. Now there's something more on reading file. Let's check it out. There are three types of syntax, which is read lines, read, and read line. So what does the difference in all of them? There is very minute difference. Okay, so let's go with app read. Let's do this both with for both of them, and let me just copy this. This theory part is not necessary, but if you want to read it, you can read. Store information can read. Okay, this one is normal. Let's see. Let's take this as line 2. Folder and then file.txt. Okay, now let's do this. So here you can open your file using this method. Just see this practically, and after it we have file.read. Now if you execute file.read, let's see what will happen. It will also going to return some value. So let's store this value in this value variable, and we are going to print this value. File.close, and if you run this, so what does file.read does? It basically read all of your program, all of your basically file text at one go. Now if you run again, you will see something different from till yet other, that it is not going to return anything. Let's see this. So at first, okay, you made it not identify it right now. Print, let's type equal here. Now if I run this, here you can see that while I printed first value, this file.read first time, it prints all of the text. But on second time, it does not print. Why? So basically what happens, it is just like cursor. File.read makes your cursor to read all of the character like this. So it is moving cursor like this. And literally it is moving like this inside the program. So it moves like this along line by line, and it goes up to end there until end. So what does file dot read does? File dot read starts your cursor from anywhere from here, just like if your cursor is here, so it will start reading from here, and it will go until your text file is not going to end. So according to file dot read, if your file dot read, now the file dot read function makes your character to the end. Now if you are again going to execute file dot read, what will happen? It will make your file dot read to again go to the end. But since it is already up to the end, it did not capture any of the text. Let's say one more example. If your cursor is at here, and if I move this cursor using selecting up to end, if I say what are the things you capture? You capture SY for beginners. Okay. If your cursor is here, if I say capture all of the things up to the end using select this, you can select this for simple. So whatever you select, this is the same thing which is going to return by the file dot read. Okay. Now if your cursor is already at the end, if I say just make your cursor up to the end, just drag this and go to the end. So what you find? You find nothing in your end. You did not select anything. That's the same case with file dot read happened. File dot read first time moves your cursor from the control plus home, just like from the first position to the end position. To the end position like this. So it literally moves like this. It's like home, control plus shift plus end. So if you want to still if you did not get, just press anywhere cursor on a file and press control plus shift plus end. So whatever you selected, this is returned by the file dot read. Now cursor is at here. Now just click on here. And now again press the control shift plus end. You will get nothing. And nothing is selected. So therefore file dot read gives you nothing. So in this way file dot read works, and you will get more on this, understand more on this when I will tell you what is file dot seek and file dot tell. Basically it is moving cursor using Python commands. But right now we are only reading and writing files. Okay, so that's how file dot read works, and after this we have file dot read line. Okay, now let's go with file dot read line. Okay, now if I run this, so here you can see something else. When I run the first file dot read line, it returned me file handling just like this allows. So where is this? This is our first line, and on the next one, when I again run this, I got the second line. So let's try what will happen if I again run this. So I am running this file dot read line, let's say up to 5 times. Okay, if I run this now, okay, I did not save this. So how many times did I run actually? One, two, three. Actually, 4 times I run only. Now let's see. On first, we got first line. On second, we got second line. Programs can create files and read, and the same are in our file.txt line. And on the third, we got most real world applications such as attendance system like this. And after this, in third line, we also got whenever I call, the number of call is equals to the number of lines it will going to print. So file.read is going to, so what is different in file.read and file.read line? File.read will reads your entire file, reads your file from a cursor up to the end of the file, while file.read line is like reading up to end of the line. So just like file.read is just place anywhere cursor and just press control plus shift plus end. Whatever you selected, it is file.read. Now just place anywhere cursor and press only control plus end. Sorry, shift plus end. Just like by default our cursor is at 0 index. If you press shift plus end, you will see our whole first line is selected. Our whole first line is selected. Now for second line, now after that first line, what happens? Our cursor become here. Now it cursor goes to next line and it reads this. So what will happen now? it reads this whole line again. This is second line. Now move your cursor again and again press Shift plus N. So basically file.readline is reading each and every line from wherever you left the cursor. So each line is going to print after that line wise. And notice one thing, read commands are not going to same every time. It's like first time you executed, it returned first line, second time, second line, third time, third line. Same for file f.read, file.read, file.read only. It reads the entire file. Now next one is file.readlines. Okay, so for next one, we have file.readlines. Let's run for this. File.readlines will just read entire value of the files. Okay, now if I run this, so here you can see, okay, it not only returns like whole value, it returns list. So what is this list? This list is like each line is stored in this list. For example, I will do for line in value print. Now let's say for I in range length of the value, and then I'm going to print line modulo d and then modulo s. So what is this modulo d? Modulo d is just integer, which you know already, but now we have also using modulo s, it is a string. And as we have already seen, value returns the list method using list, and we are going to access this material using for loop and using indexing method. Now if I run this, so you can see that line 0, basically I started from 0, so it is getting 0, and even at index 0 we have this, so no worry, let's start from line 0. Line 0 is this, line 1 is this, line 2. So basically read lines returns the list of the lines. Okay, now let's move to writing. So writing is simple, but you can also use write lines instead of only writing single character a character. And same for appending and writing same, but that only key difference is that writing files means you are writing from index 0, and I mean clearing whole file and then starting from 0. And appending is that adding text to the data after the file is created. For suppose this file is created up to there and you want to add more, so you have to use append and just use this. You can add data using it. Now after this, so that's all for this part, file handling. In next part we are going to learn about file handling using CSV. Using basically we are going to handle another type of file, which is CSV file.